you can take part in an Aboriginal Dreamtime tour. The history, culture and life of the Aborigines who live in this part of Australia are represented vividly and without any embroidery.
Food and water, seafood and all that sort of stuff, maybe only a few square feet per person. Roughly around about 200 different tribes lived in Australia before we turned up here. It's obviously just a rough estimate. They're shown here on the map, roughly in the different parts of Australia that they occupied. Now the people that we've been dealing with this morning are people from the Warlpiri tribe, which is this area here. Okay, around here in Alice Springs, which is here, was traditionally occupied by the Aranda people around this area here, and the Warlpiri from this area. Okay, and that area is roughly about the same size as England. Okay, give or take a few square feet. And in England today, I think there's about 50-60 million people living there, and the total population of this area before we turned up, roughly about 1,600. Okay, and the total population of Australia of only about 300,000.
Aboriginal Dreamtime, their philosophy, cannot be understood literally as a time of dreams. Rather, dream means living and being on a pilgrimage, and it comprises their whole existence. Paintings are highly valued among the Warlpiri people. Since they didn't have any writing system at their disposal, they recorded their history and stories using colours and figures. The Aborigines certainly have an interesting and unique culture. Some of them are not happy when you disturb them in their everyday lives with cameras, observation, or intrusive questions. By contrast, the Warlpiri people see themselves as teachers who are glad and proud to enable you to gain an insight into their traditions.
Now, traditionally, they would cook the whole kangaroo, not just the tail.
The Warlpiri, like other pre-literate peoples, used to sustain themselves on what the bush provided. They hunted kangaroos and cooked them on fires and baked them in ashes. They ate seeds, fruits and roots, but they also picked worms and caterpillars, which are excellent sources of proteins. Songs and dances symbolise the preserved traditions and life of the Warlpiri. They represent fighting and hunting, living in their community and the constant search for nourishment.